Hello and welcome to Friday Night Not So Live. I'm sorry I can't be with you again tonight. You know I like to be with you live on Friday nights at 7:30. But tonight I am working. I am helping a couple with their wedding rehearsal. That their wedding is tomorrow, so their rehearsal is tonight, and so I'll be at the church for that. And I'm not sure what time I'm going to get out, so I wanted to make sure that I had something for you. Tonight, I'm going to do a really beautiful Christmas card using the Christmas Greenery bundle and the traditional labels bundle. Let's get started. Tonight, I'll be featuring the Christmas Greenery bundle. This is a beautiful two-step stamping set. You can see that some of these more bold pieces fill in spots in these two outline images. And then we have the coordinating dies. These cut out these big shapes. And then there are some smaller shapes that can get cut out as well if you want to really add some dimension to your project. And then you've got some filler images that can add more bold greenery to your projects. I'm not going to use those tonight. I am also going to use the Forever Plaid 3D embossing folder. And the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to start with this image from Christmas Greenery and stamp it in Memento Black. So a lot of people like to color and a lot of people don't like to color. Which team are you part of? The don't color team or the I love to color because it's therapeutic team? For me, it depends on my mood, I think. So tonight, because I'm trying to get this done before I have to rush out the door, I'm choosing not to color. Instead, I'm going to use the two-step functionality of this stamp set. So I can see these flowers right here will be filled in with this piece right here. Now, what color do we want to use? I think I'm going to use Bubble Bath. So I'm just going to ink it up, and then I'm going to hover over my flower pieces, and this is really so simple to line up. And there we have 3 beautifully colored flowers just like that. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring in the leaf stamp. I'm going to put all my stamps on one block so I can wash them in one go at the end. And then I'm going to pull in Mossy Meadow. And I'm going to fill all those leaf trios in. And believe it or not, all 4 of them can be done with this one stamp. And it's okay if you are off a little bit. I'm rushing, so I am going to be off a little bit, but it does not matter. It's going to look great, I promise you. And I'm going to take this little fir kind of sprig here, and I'm going to just pop that over there and here. See how quick and easy it was to color this? And I'm not even going to mind the bow right now because I'm going to do something that will cover that section up. But if I wanted to do the bow, here's my bow, and I could add it that way. All right, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring in my dies. And I'm going to die cut that. Let me get a little piece of my tape here so I can hold it in place. All right, let's make sure we've got good position here. I think that looks pretty good. Let's hold that down. So we're going to die cut that. Bringing in the traditional labels bundle. Now, these two bundles are part of a suite set, and it's not all complete right now. You can't get everything in the suite. The designer series paper is out until the end of the month of November, and the sparkly sequins are as well. But you can get both of these bundles for only $35. Not only that, you can get both of these bundles, which have a combined value of $93.25, plus you can get another, I have to do the math, but it looks like $31.75 worth of merchandise to go along with these two. So maybe you can get some paper and some envelopes or some markers, something like that. But this is only through today. So this is the last call for the starter kit special, whether you get the $35 special or the higher priced special of $99, $95, something like that. But I recommend this one because then you can place your own next order in November and get your own discount. So anyway, I'll link in the description of this video how you can go ahead and get that starter kit. All right, so, I said I was bringing this in for a reason. That is because I'm going to use this little label right here. And you can see the pretty labels that it comes with. And then it has all sorts of sentiments for the sayings. And we'll get there later, but I'm going to die cut this and this at the same time. So let's bring in my die cutting machine. Let me clear some room here. Here's my die cutting machine. And I'm going to run both of these at the same time. So we will need plate number 1, plate number 2, and you need 2 of plate number 3. I happen to have 3 of those plates right here. I only need 2. Seems as though they've multiplied somewhere along the lines, which is weird. All right. So now I'm going to put that on there like that. I'm going to cut them out both at the same time, and I need another number 3 plate on the top. Okay. Let's see how we did. We did pretty well here. And we did very well here because there's nothing else to do. There's no stamping on that yet. But there will be. Now while I have, I shouldn't have moved it, but while I have my Stampin' Cut and Emboss sort of handy, I'm going to move these pieces. I'll bring it back in, and I'm going to emboss using that Forever Plaid 3D plate folder. So I have a piece of basic white. It is just 4 by 5 1/4, and I'm going to put it right here in this folder. Ooh, sorry if I hit the camera. And because it's a plaid with some stripes, I'm going to try to make sure the stripes are going horizontally and vertically and not a little, off kilter. You put the folded end through first after you've put that number 4 plate on the top. So you always want to make sure that you have plates between the things you're either die cutting or embossing. So there's always something underneath, at least this, and there's always something on top, whether it's this for embossing or this for die cutting. Otherwise, you run the risk of ruining your folder. All right. So here we have this, and I have a basic white, thick basic white card base, which I love, white on white. So let's go ahead, and I had a little bit of glue somewhere along the lines here. That's all right, because we are going to cover that up with a layer. All right. So let's put this right on here. My card is not folded perfectly. Let's see if we can remedy that. We can with our bone folder. So now I'm just gonna straighten out this layer if I can, which I should be able to do easily. And there we go. Card's still not perfect. I don't know what I was doing when I scored that one. All right, now I have a piece of Mossy Meadow that measures 2 1/4 by 3 3/4. We're going to bring in our stamped piece that we just stamped and die cut. Now, if you find that something's shifted a little bit, like it's a little close up there, but it's a little bit far down here, you can leave it if it doesn't bother you. But if it does bother you, you can just go ahead and clean that up a little bit. So you can just follow it and just trim it out a little bit more. It's very easy to do. All right, just like that. See how easy that was? All right, now we're going to bring this in, and I'm going to adhere this to my sheet using dimensionals. So I'm going to adhere to my Mossy Meadow with dimensionals. So I did a version of this card for a swap that I was in. And I think I just need a little piece right down here by the stems. So I'm going to cut off an edge, which amounts to being like a half a dimensional here. All right, now, so I have something that looks like this, but I didn't color in my bow. This would be easy enough to color it in the way it is, but I'm going to be putting this over the top. So it looks a little weird to have these tails here. So you know what? Let's just get rid of them. We don't need them. So we have something like that. And now you can see it just looks like these pieces are stems. They don't look like they're part of a bow, except for maybe this little piece right here. This guy looks like he's part of a bow. All right. If you want to cut up by the stems, you can do that as well. I think this is good. Let's go ahead, take off the backings here. Stubborn one. There we go. I'll put that right there on like that. I'm going to just adhere this down with a regular adhesive. My adhesive of choice is the glue. Oh, I slid all around on here on this one. I'll show you the other one I did in a minute. All right, and now we just need to put a sentiment on this piece. And I think this sentiment would look great in white embossing powder, don't you? So let's go ahead and get our basics embossing powder out. Here's my embossing toolkit. I'm gonna get my Wow White out of this trio. I'm gonna use my embossing buddy. My tweezers and such are in my metallics case because I just did that for a class. But the embossing buddy and the tweezers and the tray all come with the embossing toolkit. You're gonna need Versamark, that's a sticky ink that is slow drying. We're gonna bring in, I think, Sending Love and Joy. Sending Love and Joy, that's right here. And I will need a stamp block for that. Okay, there we go. And we're gonna stamp this right on this banner right here. Now, what's right side up and right side down? I don't know. I think it's this way. I think it's with the lines on the bottom left and the lines up here on the top right. But I don't really know that it matters. It probably doesn't matter. All right, now you got to get over this, and excuse my head while I do that. I hope that's good. My camera, ooh, that's pretty good. The camera's in the way a little bit. It looks like I might have picked up, oh, I had something on my, right near my V. There's something on my stamp. It was underneath. Well, we're gonna have to cut another one of these. Okay, I've re-stamped it, got whatever out, whatever that was underneath my stamp out. And so now it hasn't got a little bump that's gonna emboss above the V. You wanna make sure that your image is pretty clean. Let's see, can I pick this up? I don't know, let's just dump it on here in the tray then. Could really use my tweezers right now. If I wanted to take the time and get that from my bag that I used the other night, I could, but I'm not gonna. All right, so it looks like I've got a pretty good image that, Who's laughing at me? I'd laugh at me too. This is what happens when you try to hurry. Never a good idea. Let's set that right there. Gonna funnel this back in. You know, this embossing toolkit could be something that you got, I think, as well. Although if it's $35, I don't know how much it is. It's worth it though. I love having the tray and the embossing buddy. The tweezers I use sometimes, and the brush that comes with it, I use that sometimes. But the tray is fantastic, and the embossing buddy is fantastic. Sure makes embossing a lot easier. Let's bring in my embossing tool. Heat it up just a second. You want to go over, you want to keep it moving. You don't want it to stay in one spot too long. When you see that kind of get all shiny and opaque like it's doing right now, then you move along to another area. You want to be careful that you don't burn your fingers, which is another good reason to use the tweezers that come in the embossing toolkit. There we go. And so now we're just going to put this right on our card, right here like this, right over the top. So we'll use some dimensionals. Use a dimensional out here. Use a dimensional out here. I don't need it in the middle because that's already popped up. So I got something that looks just like that. I think that's, there we go. That's a little bit better. And now all we need to do is add some embellishments. And what would be good here? I think just something very clean and simple. Something like, let's see, do I have an open one of these? I know I do. I always do. Here we go. I'm going to take out our basic rhinestones. And let's go ahead and we'll pop a big one down here. And let's do a medium one up here and a small one up here. We've got a nice little triangle going on, and there is a really pretty Christmas card. Change the colors. Sending love and joy, you can do that any time of year. You could change the sentiment, of course, but you could change the colors, omit the red, maybe put in some blues. You've got a whole different look for a whole different season. So here is tonight's card. And here is the card that I created for a swap. So the only difference, and I'll bring them closer so that you can see, I've used the traditional wreath embossing folder for the background on this one. And I've used the gold sequins that I had to individually glue on versus the basic rhinestones here. So both beautiful. It kind of just depends on whether you prefer gold or silver, I think. Both are beautiful. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope that you have enjoyed this card and seen what beautiful items that you can create with these bundles. Now is the time to start doing those Christmas cards. You're going to have all of November to do them so that you can get them in the mail in December. And there's no better time than right now to take advantage of that wonderful starter kit deal. You know, tonight is about trick-or-treating for a lot of people, but there are no tricks with a starter kit deal, only treats. For $35, you're going to get $125 worth of merchandise and free shipping and a past paper pumpkin kit, plus at least 20% off on all future orders through April 2026. And if you join my team, the Stamperhood, you'll get the perks that are associated with that. We have meetings, we have challenges, and we do all sorts of fun things together. I have a team meeting coming up on Monday in person or Tuesday via Zoom. I do these monthly, the first Monday of the month, followed by the next day, the Tuesday. And I would love to be able to introduce you to the rest of the team as the latest team member of the Stamperhood. So check out the description of this video if you are interested, and if you have any questions, feel free to contact me. You'll be able to do that by looking in my profile on YouTube. Have a great rest of your October, well, the few hours that are left, and I hope you're ready and raring to go to get those Christmas cards done, or what other holiday cards that you might want to make this November. Have a good weekend, everyone.